Because you know what? I've been through a lot of heartaches.
Angela is one of the most toxic people in 90 Day Fiance history, but did you guys know that her previous life before reality TV is somehow a million times worse?
I know what she was booming.
For as much airtime as Angela has had, you wouldn't think that she'd be able to hide anything from us viewers, but there's actually a lot about her past that many people do not know, and the details about her old life are seriously insane. You guys are never going to believe this. So Angela has somehow managed to keep some parts of her previous life off the show, and one of the most startling secrets from her past is her somewhat recent criminal record, and the fact that she kept this all from being exposed on TV is just outrageous. So it turns out that Angela has been arrested at least twice in the last 10 years. Once in February 2015, she was pulled over for a traffic violation that was not a big deal, but apparently that's not the thing that she really got her in trouble. Angela wasn't even supposed to be driving when she was ticketed. Her driver's license had been either suspended or revoked, which is why she was taken into custody for the night. But what she was charged with next was absolutely unreal, because guys, in September of 2018, Angela was charged with driving under the influence of substances, and everything that happened during her arrest sounded insane. So reportedly, a police officer arrested Angela for driving 60 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone, and while she was very much under the influence, and once she was put in the back of the cop car, she allegedly went crazy. And according to the police report, the officer claimed that Angela refused to cooperate or answer his questions, and then she reportedly started accusing the officer of crazy things and even threatened to have him lose his job. But Angela was taken to jail anyway, where she was bonded out less than 12 hours later, and Angela's dramatic outburst during her arrest isn't exactly surprising, because we've seen her go crazy on 90 Day Fiance a million times, and Angela definitely isn't afraid to yell and make her feelings very clear. Otherwise, she probably wouldn't have agreed to be on the show. But not many people know that her first TV appearance actually wasn't on 90 Day Fiance. And it makes it seem pretty obvious that she's been chasing fame for years. So Angela, her daughter Scotty, and Scotty's baby daddy Terry all were guests on Trisha in May of 2014, and they were going through the issue of Scotty's daughter's paternity because Angela believed that Scotty was hiding a truly bizarre secret, and Angela claimed that Terry wasn't the baby's father. And of course, there was a ton of drama and fighting on set, but somehow the three of them brought up the issue again, and this time on a different trashy talk show. So in February 2015, Angela, Scotty, and Terry appeared on Maury.
Listen, Maury, chill out.
And Angela seemingly had no problem completely exposing her daughter on TV, and she even accused Scotty of cheating on Terry, and the situation quickly got out of hand. But what happened next was just mind-blowing, because the DNA test revealed that Terry was the father of Scotty's baby, which meant that Angela was proven wrong. And she must not have been too upset about airing her family's dirty laundry without a solid reason, though, because Angela wasted no time making her next move to get back on TV. Shockingly, she, Scotty, and Terry returned to Maury again in November 2016, and Scotty had welcomed another daughter with Terry, but once again, Angela had an insane concern about the baby.
My daughter's boyfriend, Terry, is not the father of my grandbaby.
And well, Angela ended up being wrong again, but it was wild that she had publicly dragged her daughter like this, like it was nothing to do with her. But that's not all, because on those TV shows, guests have to apply and wait to be selected by production, so each time Angela behaved badly on TV, she actually tried to be there. And this really proves my point that she would say or do anything to get TV fame. And then in September of 2017, Scotty was charged with some unbelievably inappropriate crimes involving a minor child. And not only was that disgusting and awful, but obviously it also meant that she couldn't help her mom try to get famous anymore. But I feel like Angela had been scheming because she already had her next money-making plan in mind, and that was when Angela first appeared on season 2 of Before the 90 Days. So she and Michael were getting ready to meet for the first time, but knowing her history of trying to get on TV shows, it's possible that she just staged a reason to get on TLC too. And while explaining her relationship with Michael in the first episode, she also dropped an unexpected clue, because Angela revealed that Michael had messaged her randomly over Facebook at the end of 2017, and they had been talking over the phone and online for a few months, and that they were completely in love. But was Angela really in love, or was she just the mastermind behind the plot to get famous on TV? And Michael was Angela's first international relationship, and the timing of when they first started talking is bizarre, because it wasn't long after Scotty was criminally charged, which seemed super convenient in Angela's possible plan to get back on TV again, especially if Angela needed money to pay for her daughter's legal bills. But there's still more about her previous life that's unknown, and some details are definitely suspicious. So we know that Angela married Michael in 2020, but that was not her first marriage, because she was married once before to a man named Scott Deem, and Angela has said that Scott was her first true love, but their marriage was far from perfect, because Angela claimed that her marriage to Scott was just a horrible experience, and she didn't get into the details, but she did reveal that whatever happened between them made it hard for her to trust afterwards. But even though they obviously didn't work out, Angela and Scott were together for a surprisingly long time. Believe it or not, Angela actually stayed married to Scott for about 30 years, and as I'm sure you probably already guessed, Scott is the father of her two daughters, Scotty and Skyla, and apparently Angela never wanted to get married again after she and Scott divorced. But that does not mean that she was single the entire time before meeting Michael, because 2 years ago, an interesting photo of Angela and a mystery man started going around online when a 90 Day Fiance fan page on Instagram, True Crime Janky, first shared the photo, which seemed to have been taken sometime in the early 90s, and based on how Angela was wrapping her arms around the man in the photo, they were extremely close, and Skyla was also in the photo, standing in front of the man and her mom, and she definitely looked pretty young though, which obviously raises a big question. If Angela had actually been faithfully married to Scott for 30 years, how did she manage to date someone else during that time? And there are quite a few mysteries from Angela's life before 90 Day Fiance, but there's at least one aspect that we know to be true from the show. It sounds like she was working in the same career field for years. Up until she started making more money from TLC, Angela had kept her job as a hospice nursing assistant, but making ends meet on just that income must have been incredibly hard, because Angela was supporting herself, her sick elderly mom Glenda, who has since passed away. We did see her on 90 Day Fiance a lot, and she was also taking care of her 6 grandchildren, along with helping out with 2 of her daughters. So honestly, I'm not sure how she did it, because her money situation was more than likely very overwhelming, and Angela was somehow able to keep up with her financial stress, which is actually kind of surprising. And today, her net worth is estimated to be around $4 million, which I just can't help but wonder if that's possibly true. But the difference in her finances in just the last several years is insane, and it's not hard to wonder if that's what, she was after all along. And, for a long time, Angela has been labeled a villain on 90 Day Fiance, but it seems like there's a strong chance that she could be acting out as a way to stay on TV and keep getting her TLC paychecks. Well, what do you guys think? And do you think Angela could have faked her way onto TLC just for money and fame? And what do you think about her previous TV show appearances and the other details from her past? Guys, let me know in the comments down below.